In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the latest release from Nicki Minaj featuring Lil Wayne called High School. Although I've never gone into great detail, I think I've made it abundantly clear that I cannot stand Nicki Minaj. I personally think that all of her songs are incredibly vapid, annoying and lack any sort of creative substance to them. Barring a couple that I can listen to without wanting to shove screwdrivers down my ear holes, I find this woman seriously unbearable. As far as Lil Wayne goes, his success in the UK has been incredibly limited. He's only achieved one top 20 single and 5 top 10 singles as a featured artist throughout his entire career. So I've had to take the initiative to scope out his material, and needless to say, yeah, he's terrible. The thought of these two on the same track and charting is fucking scary. I'm under no illusion that the only reason that this song charted is simply because it has Minaj's name plastered on it. So there's no doubt that this latest release is gonna be a steaming pile of shit, right? But with a title like High School, one can naively assume that it's a story about a couple of high school sweethearts, and they would be right. Instead, it's more about Minaj wanting to commit herself to Wayne, who in return rebuffs her, unconvinced by her admissions, rather uneloquently, but then again, this is Lil Wayne we're talking about. Minaj's verse breaks out about the guy she's attracted to and how rich he is. I'd say that's shallow of her, but she is rich as fuck anyway, so I doubt this attraction is for financial reasons, and that he came to America using fake visas. Suddenly I'm starting to think that he's been lying to you, Nicki. She goes on to explain even further that our apparent random rich guy has a history for being affiliated with selling drugs, and that he recently got out of jail after a 5-year stint in Sing Sing, a correctional facility that holds over 2,000 inmates. Believable, I guess, since Wayne hasn't done a great job in keeping himself out of trouble with authorities concerning drug-related issues. He's more convincing as a guitar player than he is as a drug pusher, but at least he has a tattoo of his mother's name on his arm, which doesn't make him a bad person after all. The second section of the verse is mainly Minaj rattling off how she is infatuated with Wayne and how determined she is to rein him in, all the while continuing to make references about her pussy and she likes being screwed when off her tits on alcohol and he isn't. Someone's got to be the responsible one, and it sure as hell ain't gonna be Minaj. Chorus is Nicki pledging her devotion to Wayne and that she's willing to give herself up for Wayne to show her commitment. Wayne's verse is less than flattering of a response. However, since Minaj is the female in question, I'd be skeptical too. He obviously busts out the N-word a few times whilst questioning Minaj's loyalty. While she pleads her innocence and commitment, Wayne just verbally slaps her down. Well, no one ever said that Wayne was a gentleman, right? They go back and forth before he ends the verse by referencing her pussy as well, and making a reference to Genie in a Bottle by Christina Aguilera and how her pussy is so wet that he needs goggles. Funny, yes, and apparently Minaj is rap's version of Cytherea. I'm guessing not a lot of you out there got that one. The chorus repeats itself before the hook fades the song out. Here Minaj reiterates her pledge to give herself up to Wayne in a much more intimate and genuine way, unlike the previous times they've screwed. In conclusion, this actually isn't that bad of a song. The strengths of this song can be found in the music, which is incredibly less annoying than 99% of the rest of Minaj's songs, and lyrically, her verse looks as though it's had some consideration put into it and does have some good rhymes. Plus, having the song have a story style theme to it is not only something that comes completely left field from Miss Minaj, but it's a breath of fresh air, and it shows that, frighteningly enough, Minaj has the ability to write something with some substance, even if at times the lines are typical talentless Minaj. Wayne's verse, however, is by far the weakest part of the song. His piece has 0 rhymes, and he comes off as an incredibly petulant little child, and isn't convincing at all as someone who is wary about committing to a long-lasting relationship. Whilst hearing about Wayne being reluctant to accept Minaj's commitment due to being heartbroken before makes for an interesting concept, that concept was done so much better last year by Rihanna and Drake. And in that song, both parties sounded genuinely nervous and reluctant. However, this is one song by Nicki Minaj that I would say is probably one of her strongest. It's not a great song by any means of the imagination, it's above average, and for Minaj to drop an above average song in my books, that's a step in the right direction. I give this song an overall rating of 6 out of 10.